Hey everybody, my name is Leila Shimada, and I'm going to be doing my presentation on overpopulation in Brave New World Revisited. Introduction to my presentation. Aldous Huxley, the author of Brave New World and Brave New World Revisited, it illustrates his ideas of a dystopia in his novels. Both Brave New World and 1984 display dystopian ideas, as in Brave New World focuses on the caste system and pleasure, as 1984 targets fear. Huxley believed the population would grow exponentially and then continue to grow, which would lead to overpopulation. And its effects on the economy would lead to more, which I'll talk about later. And Huxley also believed in birth control and death control, which would help overpopulation, as I'll talk about later. Another aspect to look at is the overpopulation. In Huxley's eyes, he believed that it would lead to communism, so that's not good. The novel Brave New World was written in 1931, before Nazism, but still contained ideas of communism, such as Ford with the assembly line. 1984 by George Orwell, which was written in 1948, 27 years later, used the ideas of communism seen from experience of World War II. This was seen with Big Brother looking over everybody, and in the Brave New World, the members of the society are reinforced as babies. This basically, they use operant conditioning to get the babies to believe what caste system they're in and just live out, and basically reinforced it. In 1984, the society was controlled by Big Brother, as I stated before, and it was just basically out of punishment and fear was why they wouldn't go out and cause crime, or they were just in fear. Okay, population and controlling it. In Brave New World Revisited, Huxley notes the growing population, as he states the population grows 8 million or 800 million between 1931 to 1948, 27 years. Huxley also states the two ways to control population are birth control and death control. And we can see this in Brave New World. This was achieved as babies were not referred to as by their name, but by the numbers. And also they were created in a lab, which just was a way of birth control, as it wasn't intended. It was intended for purposes in the workforce. Death was also looked at as a good thing in the society of Brave New World, unlike ours. And when I say that, I mean we mourn, but in the society of Brave New World, they were taught to not look at death as such a bad thing, and they were excited for it. Not excited, but not afraid of it. The effects on the economy, due to overpopulation, and due to overpopulation, developed countries have less resources, which barely meets their needs. So with overpopulation, the more people there are, the less resources each person has, which has an effect on the whole nation or world, which this would lead to Huxley's thoughts on how it would lead to worse things. In Huxley's words, he says overpopulation leads to economic insecurity and social unrest. Basically, this is just unhappiness, and these unrests and insecurities that people of the society have would lead to more central control by the central government. And this would lead to communism, which nobody wants because that's bad. Economy failure leads to communism, as I just stated. Huxley believed all the underdeveloped countries would be the first to fall into communism because of the insecurities, as I stated before, just caused by a weakened economy because of less resources and just things happening because of overpopulation. Overpopulation, this effect, or having that lower economy and the effect that it would have on the underdeveloped countries, it would later affect the developed countries, as most of the industrial systems are from these underdeveloped countries, which would have an effect on the developed countries, which turned them to communism. Next. Overpopulation is a myth and how it relates to Huxley. Overpopulation will not occur, as the global total mortality rate has decreased over the last 40 years. which is leading to lower birth rates and lower birth rates compared to the death rates, which the ratio is better. This is just better because, well, it relates to Huxley because Huxley believed we needed a form of birth control or death control to control the population, and this is sort of a type of birth control as we're having less children, and it's basically we have in 25 years our population will peak, but then it will decrease, and then 75 years later it will recur again. It's a cycle, which overpopulation is a myth because it will never happen. But in Huxley's ideas of birth control, it makes sense. And I got it. Oh, I don't know how to, there we go, next one. Okay, in conclusion, Huxley believed we needed birth control and death control to lead to lower population, which would be not overpopulated. This would lead to no communism, which we all don't want, or all want no communism in our lives, as there would be no social unrest and the economy would not be insecure. So Huxley's points were valid, but they can be considered wrong, false, as overpopulation is a myth. But in his sense of overpopulation occurring in his novels, it will not occur because of his birth control and death control that he associates in his novels. Thank you. Have a nice day. That's good.